Yo, what up, internet? Welcome to Bricks and Beer, episode 13. They have to open the beer at the bar downstairs. No bottle caps. Welcome back. Thank you guys for watching. We are coming to you live from BrickCon, except it's not live. It's recording. I've got Zach, who's not there. He's over there. And I've got Mauro, the homies. What's up, guys?
Yo.
Tell the internet hi.
Hello, internet. Hello.
As always, if you guys want to watch the other ones, you can click a link. Today we're in a hotel, so you can click a lampshade. That's it. There's nothing interesting about this lampshade. This is a big-ass lampshade, though, right? It's really not that big. It's just really close to the camera. So enough about lamps. We are drinking some beer. We are at BrickCon. It's convention time. It's good times. There's really no plan for this. I didn't tell these guys any sort of plan, so we'll see how this goes.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah. So we are drinking some beer. We're drinking 3 different beer. We'll go from Mauro to Zach. What are you drinking, Mauro?
I'm drinking the not rock hard, the rock steady red. Rock something red.
Yeah, there's a bar downstairs called The Rock.
Yeah.
And it would be really awesome to record this there, but they're playing terrible, shitty 80s music, and it would be really crappy for you guys, the audience. I'm drinking Stella. It's kind of a pussy beer. I'm a little hungover. This was going to be hangovers and bricks, but whatever. What are you drinking, Zach?
So I've got Lagunitas IPA. I really like the Lagunitas Brew Company and a little bit of NorCal.
Yeah.
Right?
Word. So speaking of representing, we have been members of a bunch of different lugs, Lego associations. I myself was a founding member of Ronin Lug, which is sort of dead right now. And then, of course, there's Keith Lug, but Keith isn't really socializing right now. And then there's Ryan. Shout out to Ryan, who's now moving to Florida. So Chief Lug is done. So we needed to brand ourselves with a new name. So I'm going to let Zach tell you what our new name is.
All right, thanks, man. Put me on the spot. I didn't even come up with this name. So we are Wack Lug, right? So
That is true.
West Coast ABS Construction Killers.
Yes, and we have
that's what it
bricks.
stands for.
See, that's Wack Lug, yo. So yeah, that's the name. It's silly. Whatever. We'll see with how long we roll with that one.
There's alternate names.
Yeah.
Don't want
yeah.
to.
So we'll leave that for later.
Yeah.
Mara, I thought you were like tweaking yourself or something. That was kind of
I lost
disturbing.
my magnet, man. It was somewhere in my shirt, and I could feel it was cold. It was
Good times.
Yeah.
It's invisible forces.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we could tell you guys about the Dio. We're gonna try to do this like the last collaboration one, where we'll talk and do the bullshit part, and then we'll actually show you the pretty cool actual build part. Mauro, you want to just give like a quick overview of where we're at now?
So, about maybe a year ago. Well, yeah, because it was right after the last
It was
BrickCon.
literally a year
we
ago
were like-
to this day.
Like, Andrew and I were talking, we're like, we got to do something big for next BrickCon. And we're like, dude, that's stupid. That's like, we did Star Vikings, and Star Vikings worked really well because Star Vikings was like very.
It can be chaotic.
Yeah.
Like, the more chaotic it is, it doesn't seem like it's out of place.
Right, and it could kind of grow and shrink, and there was no really set boundaries or anything, so more people, as many people as wanted could participate, and we didn't have like a structured layout, so if you had more stuff for the layout, you just add to the layout. It's cool.
It's like that fly-in model, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what I think it's
Fly-in.
referred to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is like the easiest way to do it is the straight flying. And we had a shit ton of people for that. I think we had like a dozen people. I don't know.
Yeah, more
There's,
than that, dude.
there's
There's
silly
like
photos.
15, yeah.
I'll link over here to a silly photo of all of us screaming with plastic Viking hats on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was good times.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Star Vikings. Shout out to all the Star Vikings out there. So we did the one for Bricks LA, which if you've watched the show,
right.
hopefully
Yeah,
you're
we were
familiar
like-
with. If you haven't, fuck it, go click the thing and look at it.
Yeah. So to follow my point, we were like, oh, hey, this was really easy. Now let's do the stupid, ambitious thing
Yeah.
that everybody else does, and like actually have some stupid structured layout.
The really
And we were like,
hard,
nah.
brick-intensive part.
Let's not actually do that. But then we did that for Bricks LA. And it was cool up until, like the week before, and then everybody's cramming and trying to oh, we decided to make this thing 40 bricks tall. That's a great fucking idea. You don't actually know how tall 40 bricks really is until you're at brick 35, and you're like, how many fucking bricks do I have left in my fucking grade box,
Yeah.
So that was cool. We did that for Bricks LA. It went really well. We did like a 1.5 release for Bricks by the Bay, where I just kind of like made some small changes. We put it up.
Minor tweaks.
Yeah, and then we're like, well, okay, so
And you won a trophy there too.
Yeah, we
So
got a
like
trophy there.
that's 2 cons, 2 trophies. We're at the 3rd con.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna get a trophy this year.
Yeah.
Paul
This is
Hennington,
pretty good
he's
stuff.
just gonna win everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're like, okay, this is great. Like, we finished the display. Like, we have a finished display.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do any more work on it, so let's double the size.
Yeah, and at the Bricks LA one was roughly what, like 50 studs by 3.
It was like it was like 4
plates?
48s lined up in a row.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's roughly like 200 studs. So
Yeah.
it's like 50 by 200.
Yeah.
So let's just go 100 by 200 and just double it.
Yeah. So it's now 8 48 plates.
Yeah.
2 rows of 4.
And there's some significant differences. In the first one, we had some motorized action, which Mario came up with. We had the grabby monsters, so he's still doing his grabby thing. But there is some other motorized stuff, right? So we got 2 little things going on.
Yeah. Yeah. We now have a waterfall that is built using the new Technic conveyor belt treads. That's pretty sweet.
It's fancy.
Yeah.
It looks
I
cool.
mean,
Yeah.
And it's exposed from the outside down into the cavern. So if you look into the cavern, you see the water moving
Yeah.
as well. So
it was the first thing I built on the new section, and then I kind of covered it up with a bunch of stuff. But I think you can still see it.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Well, and the
Totally
motion works because like motion is like what attracts people.
Yeah.
And then there's an interactive motorized part
Mhm.
which Mario came up
The
with.
little remote control action, inspired by an old moon base of Tony Hafner's back in like circa 2007 BrickCon.
Shout out to you, Tony Hafner.
Yeah, some good times. Yeah, and then the lighting.
Yeah. So
That's
the
the
motorized
biggest
part,
change.
when he's talking about this, what it is, it's a cannon that can come up above the foliage and then shoot a little missile at people, which is rad.
Yeah.
And then the lighting, we fucking totally changed the lighting. So Zach, like, throw it out there, tell people.
Yeah, so Blacklights was the key, right? I mean, we just decided, hey, we've got all these alien plants and flora and fauna and everything else. Like, let's just use some trans colors in there and make the shit glow. So we replaced, in my module, I replaced and added Blacklight to both my new module that I built and the older module. And then there's also like a flickering LED light inside the brain
Which
or
is
whatever's
awesome.
in that thing.
Yeah.
And it's on a timer, so it goes off randomly and flickers and shit.
Yeah.
So
People
Yeah,
are
it's cool.
definitely digging on the lights. I
Yeah.
think that's like the
Everyone
blacklight
thinks,
thing
yeah.
is a huge improvement.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we did after Bricks LA, after sort of kind of, decompressing and like reevaluating the work and the dio and everything, was that the plants, we had probably too many plants for the dio the size that we had, and they were just sort of like vomited everywhere. So this time we tried to like tight condense and section plants in different areas, and one of the things that we did that I think really is effective is we took all the trans clear shit off the top and put it down into the blacklight cavern.
Yeah.
So it looks fucking rad. It's totally awesome. And you have a couple of blacklights in yours, right? You have a flashlight,
Yeah,
and
little
another one.
bouncers flashlights. And I like just one that's a little tube from Spencer's that was like $10, which was not very bright, which is why I got the other flashlights.
Yeah.
Short aside, something that was really interesting was when I first got it. This is the first blacklight I had, and I just kind of took it into my Lego room and just kind of shown it around, and it was really interesting to see which drawers lit up and which didn't. Like that's how I discovered that trans medium blue. It turns out fluoresces like just as bright as fluorescent green and fluorescent orange, and it's really rad looking.
Yeah.
And we used a bunch of it to do. Kind of like crystal, because there's the trans blue crystals.
The plates, like we have a
Yeah.
couple of 8x8 plates that just like glow like motherfuckers. They
Yeah.
look like light bulbs. And the really crazy thing, so I put a lot of the blacklight plants in the cave, and when you're putting the plants in, it's a really weird thing because you're holding the plant and you're kind of shadowing over the plant. So you plant your little seedling or whatever the fuck it is, and then you move your hand, and it's almost like you turn on a switch, and it glows, so like you don't really know what it looks like until you get your giant fucking stupid hand out of the way, and then it's like, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, some of that shit glows so bright that you think that there actually is like a light source in it. Inside.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
inside,
Like,
Fucking shout out to Jeff. We can't be remiss, dude. You are sorely missed, homie. This one's for you. Fucking Jeff is here in spirit. He's a very patient person. He's getting like 10 million texts a day of just bullshit about like going to breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess it's cool because he gets to like virtually experience the hang here at con.
Vicariously.
Simon also contributed. He's actually here at the con, but he is doing a team speed build, which is really fucking complicated. Just a quick aside, I guess like we're talking about BrickCon, so we should talk about this. I've done a bunch of speed builds. You guys have done a bunch of speed builds and team speed builds and shit. Usually what they do is they give you a big set. So like I did the UCS Falcon one, I think the first year.
Oh, wow.
The second year, I don't know. It's like, so it was cool. So
Like 3 hours later. Right?
Yeah, dude, it was literally like 2 hours and 48 minutes, and we beat
For
the
those who don't
Germans.
know, a speed build is a race.
Yes,
It's a race
and
to
we
build a
beat
set.
the Germans.
Yeah.
So everything is okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, so normally you do one big set, right? And it's just a race. It's a challenge. They give you the instructions. You're not allowed to open anything, and they go, okay, go, and then you stop when you're done. And whoever wins, gets a prize. And then usually, even if you just participate, you get to part out the set. So you win either way just for participating. So it's cool. Something that's sort of like tried and true BrickCon Lego convention tradition. This year, these tricky motherfuckers. So the set box was the A-Wing base, the one with like Admiral Akbar and the generic Mon Calamari squid dude. It's a trap. But so they fucking get everybody ready and they click go, and the motherfuckers open the box and they dump it out, and there's a bunch of different Ziplocs. They're not even fucking sealed poly bags. And so all the parts are mixed together, and there's like 6 sets of instructions. And I'm pretty sure they only have like 2 or 3 sets.
Yeah.
So you gotta evaluate, do we do the Lime Creator set or the Lime whatever other set? We gotta look at the inventory. So I kind of feel for these guys. Like, we were supposed to do it, and I'm really fucking glad we're not doing
We're on the
that.
waiting list.
It's like a mind fuck.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. Like, I would have just like walked away from the table maybe at that point when like 7 instruction booklets fell down. I'd just be like,
You would have
God
done it. You
damn
would have
it.
done it. You would've
yeah,
done it.
but I wouldn't be happy about it.
No.
Also, quick other aside, dude. So Tony Hafner is an OG classic space guy, right? Like OG moon base. And we always had a joke about how like Hafner had his like clan of ninja clones that he was raising, because I think he has like 5 boys. He has a shit ton of kids. And I met Hafner back in like 2007. So this year we had this Flickr group set up that we're not really using because Flickr's a pain. So to coordinate the DIO, and fucking Will Hafner, Tony Hafner's son, sends me a message and it's like, I want in on this. And we met him last night, and he's like, I didn't build anything, but I could build something tonight. And then he shows up today with like all these crazy alien monsters that are fucking rad, and like, so you're doing good work, Tony. You're raising them right, dude.
That's right.
It's good time. So shout out to you, Will. Do you guys want to talk? I feel like I'm just talking a lot.
No,
So I do have a story, and it's kind of a dumb story.
Let's see where this goes.
So-
Decide whether we want to talk.
I recorded the last episode, and I'm like, oh, look at all you motherfuckers. This is how you pack Lego for spaceships and to ship it through airlines and shit. So I figured, like, I'm making this pretty bulletproof. I took the core of that ship that's the size of my fucking suitcase, and I saran wrapped the fuck out of it, and I put packing tape, and I put bubble wrap on it, and I, like, strategically wrapped my t-shirts around there, and literally that entire suitcase was, like, all Lego. Like, you shook it, and you can't hear anything. That's a good sign. Like, you don't hear the Lego shifting. So I was like, okay. I mean, it's done. I'm going to hand it off to the airport. Like, you have to, go on faith that you didn't fuck up. You have to get to the airport with the suitcase intact for that to happen, which we did. And when my Uber driver opened up the hatch of his Scion XB to grab my wife's bag, my suitcase did one of these. Like a nice little swan dive, face first onto the concrete. And it was like a good, 3-foot drop, and it made a really audible plastic crack, and I was like, it's fucking done, but at least I got to see it happen. But, shockingly enough, it really wasn't that pulverized, so I guess I can talk some shit about packing Lego? I don't know. So yeah, fucking wrap your shit. That's the key. That is tried and true.
T-shirt padding.
Yeah, t-shirt padding.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, maximize the Lego, minimize the clothing, use the clothing efficiently.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anything else we want to talk about BrickCon? Anything else jump out, you guys?
There's some really cool shit.
There is some really cool shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I gotta fucking give some shout outs. So, we roll in the first night, and out of nowhere, this kid runs up to me and is like, "Yo, I love bricks and beer." And I'm like, "What?"
You're like, who are you?
So Sam, dude, fucking shout out to you, homie.
Yeah.
And then Chris,
Also a fantastic builder.
the magical wizard Chris, who built the wizard ship,
Yeah.
staying with Sam, he's killing it on several levels. So he's got the wizard ship, which is fantastic. He's got like a little space army set up with like a mech and some fighters and stuff, and it's all super clean. And then he has an Ice Planet M-tron magnetizer
that's
that is
that's it.
gigantic,
Oh man, I love that thing.
which I respect him so much more for doing that for two reasons. One, it's executed beautifully, but it's also like paying homage to the old school shit. So like he gets it. So
Yeah.
fucking Chris, dude,
Yeah.
keep up the good
Mhm.
work, bro. Yeah, Paul Headington is fucking killing it.
As always.
Dude, like motorized everything.
That can't be stopped. He's like the
Yeah.
cyborg. Like,
Yeah.
he's not even
I was
human.
I was feeling really good that I added like 2 more motorized parts. To
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I like no.
Yeah.
So
we can't
and
compare.
the crazy thing is you think you do this collaboration, right? And you have
Mhm.
like multiple people contributing and do this going to be massive thing, and
Yeah.
and you have a shot. And then you
One
see,
dude
like,
shows up with 2
Paul-
things bigger than yours.
Yeah. Yep.
insane.
Yeah, so he has 2 things that are just fucking mind blowing. He has this steampunk like Unchain My Heart, really crazy sort of art piece.
Yeah,
More than anything, like
Amazing.
it's steampunk aesthetically, but it's very cool. And the motorized action in that is not that impressive, but the build itself is
yeah,
fucking phenomenal.
amazing.
Incredible details.
Yeah, and then he's got this really cool Batman piece that sort of looks like a comic book cover, and it's huge, and it's really well done. It's like Art Deco. It has like a movie facade about the Joker versus Batman. And I saw it and I was impressed. And then I didn't realize you could turn it on and every fucking thing moves. Like
Yeah,
everything. Like
Every single minifigure is on some kind of turntable. or
yeah,
something,
yeah. Well, and the
like-
Joker's
Yeah.
got the basketball legs, so he does this as the train goes back and forth,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
crazy.
like it's just really smooth. All the action feels really organic.
It's a helicopter.
and the
that goes
helicopter going up and down,
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
color spinning. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's great.
And it's quiet. Like
Yeah.
you can
It's
tell
not
it's
loud.
not. And you were geeking out on his tech, his old
Mhm.
school tech.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
running
he's-
like some crazy
It's
old
like
Technic
the
thing.
pre-Mindstorms Technic programmable like panel that only came with one set, I think, and it was like I think there was like a dinosaur that you could build and like an
Oh,
airplane.
yeah, it was
and
black,
would,
I think
like,
I remember
flashback.
that.
It was
Yeah, it's
black.
black with the little button.
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And you can, and a friend of mine had it, and you can. It's great because you can just hit record. I think like you can hit the record
Maybe.
button,
This might
and
not
then
have
like
this.
and then like add a bunch of motion to the motor, and then hit stop, and then it'll like replay that in a loop. So I think that's what he's using for the helicopter. So it's going like up and down, up and down, and down. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Fucking mind blowing. There's a
I-
bunch
I
of
want
other
one
cool
now.
shit too.
Yeah.
Alice Finch is queen of the gigantic medieval dios, so
Mhm.
she's got a mouse guard like 30-foot long, ridiculous dio. The owl is amazing.
The sculpting on the owl
Yeah,
is
yeah.
phenomenal.
There's a dude who built a lighthouse, and it has a ship, and there's a wave, and the
Dude.
water. The water looks
Eric
like.
Mattson is the builder.
All right,
Eric Mattson.
I'll link him over there,
Yeah.
which is more work for me. But
I
shout
met him
out
at
to
Bricks.
you.
I met him at Bricks the other day, so that's how I know.
Cool. Dude, that piece is amazing. The water is like beautifully like curved. It feels like it's moving. It's really really well executed. Bunch of other fucking people I've met. Like I'm leaving a shit ton of people out.
There's a lot of new people this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting older because I'm meeting more kids who are like bringing the new hotness, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know
Quote,
who you
unquote,
are.
kids.
Yeah, they're- kids.
Kids
Yeah.
being 25-year-old
Yeah.
adult men.
Yeah.
But
That's the problem. Is like there's all these guys, and they're out there on Flickr, and you follow
Yeah.
them on Flickr,
Right.
and then you see them, and they're like
Mhm.
super young, and they're like building
Mhm.
shit way better than you built when you were
Yeah.
that age. And it's like,
Right,
what the
right.
fuck is happening?
And here
right
I
now?
was like 22, 23
Yeah,
when I
that
first
was
came to
pretty
BrickCon,
shit.
so like,
Yeah.
it's kind of funny us going like, these fucking kids
totally.
bringing in these
totally.
new mocks, and they're
Yeah.
all great and they're better than us. And
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes me feel 2 ways. Like I'm happy that it's happening. I'm happy that the hobby is like continuously evolving and that people are still in it. But then it makes me super depressed because I'm watching people like age out of the hobby, and I'm like, no, bro, you need
Yeah,
to stay.
in.
Like, I can't hang with the young kids all the time. So yeah, it's been a fucking good time. I got very little sleep last night. It was good times. Fucking Rayfords. The Rayfords are killing it, as always, at BrickCon.
Yeah. Thanks for making this happen, Tom.
Yeah, dude.
Shoutouts.
Shout out to
and
Tom.
Wayne and all those guys. Yeah.
And
anyway.
Tom, we're following up on that conversation. We're gonna talk about Vegas A-Full-Con.
Yes, that needs to happen.
Dude.
It does.
The pipe dream is the Vegas A-Full-Con. That's 21 plus and low key and small and basically like this show.
Secretly employed to get Keith to actually come out.
Yeah. Keith won't even come to conventions anymore. So if we bring the convention to him, like
maybe
it'll probably work.
Yeah. Seriously, where are you, Keith? Did you see what we made? Like.
We should talk about the fucking water table.
Oh God. I'll take this one.
Yeah.
So
you did it all.
We had
an
interesting lesson in Lego physics last night because we were doubling the size of the display, we needed more water, and we decided that for water we were going to do snot blue bricks, which we did for the first one. So we're like, okay, we got to get some more blue brick, and we were racking our brains trying to figure out where we were going to get more blue brick.
We were trying to buy brick out of Italy.
Yeah. So finally, at like the 11th hour, Zach brick linked 800.
There's it's 1,700.
Dude, it was a sizable bag.
1,700 1x2 blue bricks.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which Morrow and I spent 2 hours.
Yeah.
Putting into a sheet. Of blue.
Of just 48.
Just route. Terrible, monotonous,
just
tedious,
layer,
stacking,
layer.
Everybody's having fun, putting their spaceships together.
Yeah.
You're just putting.
So we're like, great, okay, so we'll have this full layer of the 1x2 plates, and then we've got this mostly 2x6 and 2x4, another thick chunk, which we'll put on the end, which was the original water.
Yeah.
And we're like, great, so we get this full layer of it ends up being more than 48 studs long.
It was a shit ton.
Yeah. And we're like, let's do it. We try and connect it to the larger chunk, and it doesn't fit. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And we look, and if you lined up the left side edge perfectly, the right side edge was a half stud off.
It's 102 studs wide.
Yeah.
And that's enough for that tolerance difference.
Yeah.
To fuck you.
Yeah. What was happening is that each 1x2, we did an offset of each one. So each 1x2 is here's the studs of the two 1x2s underneath it, and then you put another 1x2 on top of it, and the clutch power of the 1x2 on top of it was actually kind of dragging the two 1x2s beneath it.
Yes, there's
ever so slightly.
It's like a subtle curve that just kind of goes.
But when you have 1,700 of them, that fucking adds up. And when you actually get to that end point, it was so compressed that it wouldn't fit.
And we tried.
Yeah.
We tried several methods. We
How
tried
many
the
times
brute
did you
force.
blow up the
screaming.
water? There was 1x2s
over and
flying all
over
over.
again. And we would get it, so I'm like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it in chunks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight the plastic. It's gonna be fine. So we take off little 4-inch chunks. It's me and Morrow fucking sweating, and you literally you zipper it up, right? So you start at the bottom, and you go like this, and you can watch the brick stress move up the row.
Yeah.
And then you get halfway, and then you're just it's gonna fight us the whole way.
Yep.
So the solution was
we ended up completely breaking up everything.
We meaning him.
I feel like such an ass because I didn't do any of it, but I bought it. So you guys get the fucking
It's fine. Yeah, exactly. You bought it. I had nothing to do last night. So
shit.
we broke it up into chunks, and we actually ended up mixing it all together. So every 4 or 5 layers of 1x2, we'd throw a 1x6 in there to basically bring everything back into line, so that it wouldn't
such a motherfucker.
get that crazy work.
And so Keith texts me, and he's like, "Yeah, you boys have fun." And I fucking send him a picture of this disaster of a water table. And I'm like, "We needed you, bro. What happened?"
Yeah.
So fucking shout out to you, Keith. I hate fucking brick built water now, more so than I did before, which is weird.
Yeah.
Well, the whole reason why we did brick built water was because of Keith, right?
Well,
that's exactly it. It was the whole concept of the access to the water table, right?
Yeah, because the idea of access to the water table is even if you just build a shoreline and a little bit of a water table, the illusion is the world goes on out into the ocean. So it's cool. The dio's looking fucking great. I mean, it's coming together. We have work still to do, unfortunately. which like now it's like the tedious part, the like actually like building the action and the scenes and stuff.
But
yeah.
it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
Quite
fun.
tedious, yeah.
People are excited. We have been able to loop in some other people on it just for like fucking shit grunt work labor. Like
Yeah.
Carter
Carter,
helped
shout out.
Thank you,
a
Carter.
ton,
Shout out to
dude.
Carter.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, bro.
So it wasn't just me doing water.
Yeah, it was
Carter.
Carter. Like
Yeah.
Zach and I were just saying, like, all right, we're gonna go to the hotel and drink some beer.
Several times we looked over at them and we're like, dude, I feel bad. And I was like, yeah, I kind of do too. And then we just walk over.
I don't really hate you guys.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah.
don't hate us.
Secretly gonna kill
Yeah, yeah.
What else? What else is going on? We're in the fucking Pineapple. This is it's a decent hotel. It's cool. We have our fabulous curtain background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Fucking thank you guys for watching again. As always, we'll be back. We'll show you the dial. This is episode 13. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
Peace.